Hi, I'm Astrosagas, also known as Celia Sagastume. So I particularly focus on kind of mythologies that are not Western. I feel like a lot of astrology right now is based on Western mythology, like Greek and Roman myths, and that is on purpose. A lot of that is because of colonization and because of the patriarchy and because of white supremacy, just kind of like prioritizing the mythologies of the conquerors instead of those who have been here for a really long time. And so a lot of my work is around trying to center different ways of interpreting the chart. So I definitely love like the Mayan mythology. Right now I'm working a lot with Quetzalcoatl in particular, and the like Venus as a star sign, both in morning and an evening star. I'm a non-binary transgender person, and I feel like a lot of astrology reading is very heteronormative and very binary gender, and I'm really sick of it. And I especially look for places where, you know, people have interpreted parts of the chart in a homophobic lens or in a transphobic lens, and really starting to shift the narrative around that, because I am really tired of reading about certain stars or certain placements as being like detrimental to the masculine persona of a man, or reading certain parts of a chart as being like somebody being confused with their gender, because we're not. We're not confused, we're just different. For me, just the fact that I have lived a lot of different experiences and a lot of different ways of seeing the world, I feel like I bring a certain different kind of outlook to the table. And so I'm actually like not looking to, you know, appeal to the masses of everyone, because I don't think that I have the particular experience as everyone else does, but I am looking to connect with more folks of color, transgender folks, and queer folks who maybe want to see some shifts around archetypes, around mythologies. Had a very different presentation from what my parents expected, and you know, there was a lot. I mean, it wasn't like as terrible as it could have been, but I did feel a lot of pressure to conform to certain types of stereotypes that I was not doing very well in. And I was a very strange child, if you can imagine. I grew up watching Walter Mercado on TV news, and so it was always really interesting to me when, you know, my whole family, all of these like Guatemalans who are very conservative and very like normal and like Christian and Catholic, you know, would all of a sudden be enthralled by this magnificently gay creature on television in like full silk and like crystals and robes and fog machines, and they were like, cállate, porque ya viene Walter, and I have to hear my horoscope. And I would just be like, how do you get to be that? Like, how do you get to be so weird and so magnificent and so gay and still have the respect of people like my parents, like my family? So I am almost 10 months sober, and I am so thankful to have sobriety, and I use astrology, and also I just like use like my alternative way of committing to sobriety as a way to help others and support others who are going through health struggles or who maybe want to renegotiate their relationship to any form of substance. I think that there are alternative ways to achieve sobriety and to maintain sobriety, and so I do support a lot of people through astrology, like talking through their charts and talking through different issues that may have come up that like cause them to like have a dependence on certain substances, or look at places where they are particularly sensitive to like energetic dynamics that cause addiction. And I like to help people like shift that pattern and find different channels and avenues for whatever kind of loss or cathartic change they need in order to move through that process. So I have a bachelor's degree in English literature from Mills College. Then I got into a master's degree at SF State called Mind Brain Behavior, where I got a graduate degree in social cognition. So I finished that master's degree in July of last year, and then taught at SF State last fall, doing both statistics for psychology research at SF State, and I did psychology of gender at Palo Alto University, because while I was finishing my thesis, I also worked at UCSF at the Center of Excellence for Trans Health, supporting a study that was for HIV prevention in trans-Latinas in East Oakland called Triumph. So from that work, I taught psychology of gender at Palo Alto University, which was really amazing to be able to teach it from my perspective and give a little bit more realness around certain issues, especially for trans folks. And I'm supposed to teach cross-cultural psychology in the summer, while also doing astrology.